Hey guys, this is how to document on how to set up WcBc processing option for the JD Edwards environment. Go ahead and click on processing option from back office. I am going to look at a simple transfer. We install WcBC with each of the generic version just like JD Edwards. We are going to copy from the generic version ZJDE0001 to another version. So we are going to create a new version. Just click on the header button. Then click on copy. We are going to copy from program IT P4113 and copy from generic version to ZJDE0001. Now we are going to copy to version WcBc 0001, so not to mess with the generic version. After the copy from and to version have been entered, click on the submit button. This will copy the processing option to WcBc 0001. This must the JD Edwards version that you are currently executing. The WcBC sequence 1 and 2 are reserved for JD Edwards user, and password you can put in a hard-coded user and password, or you can enter client user to execute the business function using the sign-on from the barcode device. This user and the password must have security to execute JD Edwards business function. The WcBC sequence 4 to 7 are reserved for the JD Edwards business function names. These are the standard business functions that are executed to process a simple transfer. The WcBC sequence 8 and 9 are reserved for how to execute business function or JSON. Enter a 1 to execute via the business function or a 5 to execute using JSON. So, to continue the WcBC sequence 10 to 46 are reserved for parameter into the business function. So you can see on the sequence number 10 and subsequence 1, it asks the question, enter the document type for the transaction. The traditional transfer document is ID for inventory transfer. The XML label is on the subsequence 2. This is the label in which the variable IT gets passed into the business function. If we look to the business function to the right, you will see that it gets passed into XML label on execution. So, to continue the WcBC sequence 47 is reserved this for JD Edwards UBE version that we can execute. The UBE would only be executed after the transaction occurs successfully. The next WcBC sequence is 48, which is reserved for the transaction accepted message. So on all the transactions, you will either get a transaction accepted message or you will get an error message. If it's a transaction accepted message, then it will display the item number. In this case, to the handheld to let the user know the transaction accepted for the item entered. These are often variables such as work order, purchase order number, or license plate. The WcBC sequence 50 through 69 are variables created by JD Edwards to carry information from the beginning business function to later business function to pass in. These variables hold this information. These are all preloaded in WcBC during the installation process. In the WcBC processing option, we can allow different branch plan to use different parameter using the same version. So what we can do is we have one branch plan that wants this to be a 1, and the other branch plan wants this to be a 2. So what we can do is come over on the answer. You can enter NBP, then you press the enter key. Then if you can go to the individual branch plan parameter by double clicking on the processing option line. So here branch plan M30 is being a 1. and branch plant is a 2. So now we have the same variant used across multiple branch plants with settings slightly different. Thank you, everybody.